and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where today we've got some... Whoa, computer is going off right now. Where today we've got some big updates with the Toronto Blue Jays and the MLB. Some rumors are really percolating, and the Blue Jays have made an offer to starting pitcher Andrew Heaney. We're going to get all into it, folks, and more. I am your host, Adam Peddle.
And I'm your host, Nicholas Blaylock. And yeah, guys, we saw winter meetings. We saw MLB free agency really take off today. We slowly were edging ourselves into it, and then we started sprinting today, right? Verlander off the board. You had Trey Turner go off the board. These are some big names, and because of that, the dominoes are going to start to fall. Before we get into all the breaking news, please make sure to hit that like, smash the subscribe button, and comment down below some of your predictions over the next few days. I posted a video giving mine. I'd love to hear yours. Let's get straight into it, dude.
Let's go.
Let's just get straight into this thing with the Andrew Heaney news right now. So this was leaked by Ben Nicholson-Smith. Andrew Heaney's market is picking up at the winter meetings. Per source, the Blue Jays have made him an offer.
Huge. Now, there's no, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's no actual, we don't know the offer.
I don't
we
believe
don't know
that
the
dollar amount, the amount of
not.
years, any of that. I don't think that information is privy to us yet.
But that's huge. Let's give our initial reactions. My initial reaction was, I saw this coming. I mean, right. I made a video room about this a few weeks ago, and you guys liked it. You guys enjoyed it. Andrew Heaney to the Blue Jays makes a lot of sense for the dollar amount that they were speculating that the Blue Jays would be able to spend this offseason. Mm-hmm. And Andrew Heaney is a really good Ross Stripling replacement.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with those two sentiments for sure, and we're going to get to his numbers in just a second. I also think something that's really good here is a lot of the feelings around the Jays community right now, Blue Jays fan community, is they're sitting on their ass, they're doing nothing. The amount of comments that we've got on these videos, all capitals, saying, please, Jays, do something. They're wasting their free agency. I mean, we hear it, guys. We understand. We get that paranoia, that anxiety. So this makes me feel really good right here that they are, in fact, at least on the phone, at least getting in those conversations, and at least being competitive and not just idly letting the whole free agency slip them by. No, they are going to do stuff.
Yeah, and I don't want to skip ahead, but there was rumors that we were in on Justin Verlander. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but again, that complements your point that we are doing something. Yeah. Now, Andrew Heaney, let's take a look at this guy's stats by Baseball Reference right here. 3.10 ERA last year in 2022. He had a 4-4 win-loss record. He only pitched 16 games. I mean, the numbers, if you just look at 2022, you go, okay, great fit, great whip. I want this guy in the team, but it's the whole everything else.
Yes.
His entire career when he pitched for the LA Angels. Now, I've gotten into really deep in the video room about why he changed. I'll bring it up a little bit later, but does this make you a little bit uncomfortable?
Absolutely, dude. And I mean, I think that there's something to be said for sure that the second that you go over to the LA Dodgers, you start playing a lot better, right? We've seen this time and time again, and we've also seen that the Blue Jays are attracted to players who come from that LA system. I will cite Hyun-Jin Ryu. I will cite Ross Stripling, right? Those are literally two guys that came from that system, figured it out over there, and then we brought them here, and they, hit to varying degrees of success once they got here.
Yeah.
So I definitely am concerned about that, but this is totally the type of guy that fits the mold of the Blue Jays.
Yes, it really feels like the LA Dodgers in the last 10 years, they were the one team that really picked up on the Tampa Bay Rays method. When they take pitchers, they change everything about them. They go, okay, you are going to stick with your guns here, because look at his 2022 pitch distribution: fastball, slider, changeup. Primarily fastball, 32% slider. And then you look at all the rest of his years. I don't look at them all, but look at just 2021. He threw curve, change, and barely any slider. Mostly fastball. And he was getting beat up that year, as we saw on Baseball Reference. They said, screw the curve, screw the change. You're just going to throw the slider. And it changed. He is still getting hit very hard, but the strikeouts are up. The expected batting average is up. Or down, excuse me. Chase rate way up. So for me, it gives me a little bit more confidence giving him a deal, and he shouldn't get a tremendous deal. It should only be average annual value between 10 or 12 million.
Right. So has that been talked about then? Did you cover that in your video room? Is that something that has been, okay, so you have it up right here, actually. So this is Spot Rack, everybody. Great site for the contracts and everything like that. They have their market value. Now, these definitely are not 100% accurate, but they're good to just give a ballpark range, just to sort of get an idea and get a feel of a player. And basically, they are predicting this guy to have a very similar contract to Yusei Kikuchi.
Yeah.
3 years, about $35 million there for an Andrew Heaney. I mean, that does make sense to me. They're looking at a few other guys who got similar contracts when they were doing about the same. Carlos Rodon will not be getting this time around, but I understand where they're coming from there. Do you feel comfortable giving $35 million to Andrew Heaney, assuming that's what the deal was over a 3-year span?
Definitely more comfortable than giving $36 million to Yusei Kikuchi, because he actually did it for a bit last year, and it's not like it was just random, right? He actually changed his pitching. He changed the way he pitched. You know, if you go back here to Baseball Savant, sliders all down, fastball all up. It's like it's very consistent. It's just like Robbie Ray, just like what we did with Robbie Ray.
Yeah,
right? Everything is consistent. So for me, I definitely feel a lot better than Yusei Kikuchi. That's for sure. So I will take that deal, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with you from that angle. I mean, I was never on board with the Kikuchi signing, guys. Like, never was on board with that.
There was nothing. I mean, we'll bring this in the background. We
can look at that afterwards. But I mean, for me, what scares me though is that, you know, he's a similar mold. He's the similar mold to a Kikuchi, and we've seen that it's like, that didn't work out for us. Now, I know it's not apples to apples. You know, Andrew Heaney is not the same as this guy. He's not the same as Jose Barrios. But am I concerned that we're going to bring in another guy for, you know, a $30 million contract, and he's just going to fall apart and do the same thing, and it's just like a waste of money, kicking the can down the road? It's like, at some point, I want to spend the big bucks, go out and acquire the elite, and know exactly what I'm going to get, barring they don't get injured.
Yeah, granted, I mean, if the Blue Jays do sign Andrew Heaney, I'm not going to be satisfied as that is our pitching solution. You know, you need to get another arm, like bullpen, starting pitcher, like get me some more, because that, like, throwing him in the 4-hole, like, yeah, I mean, if he does turn around, if he does give us like a mid-3 ERA, like, okay, great, cool. Yeah. But like, is Jose Barrios going to be good? Like, we don't know. Like, we're not getting enough WAR back to just like make Andrew Heaney the only decision that we're going to make in this offseason. But if we grab someone like a Carlos Rodon, then I'm feeling a lot more confident that as being a early
I absolutely agree with you in that standpoint. And I think that at the beginning of this offseason, everybody, Carlos Rodon, he was off the table, right? I don't think anybody walked into this offseason, you know, ourselves included for sure, thinking that the Blue Jays were even going to be in those conversations. But I absolutely think that we can be talking about that moving forward, especially with the news that was leaked today. We have the stuff about Andrew Heaney, but we also have the stuff about Justin Verlander, where Justin Verlander gets signed by the Mets, you know, GG Mets. I mean, we can give our thoughts on what we think about the Mets. You know, good stuff, though.
Real quick. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what we expected. I mean,
exactly
2 year. I didn't think he was going to get a 3 year. And if it was going to be an optional year, which he did get. But GG, that's what you
know,
exactly
it's like you lose out on Verlander or DeGrom, and you fill that spot with Verlander. Great. Really no drop off there. But I think that the maybe even the biggest news here from today for the Blue Jays was that we were okay with that. We were literally talking about this. Like, we were open to signing him at that high average annual value, right? So it's like we weren't turned away from the $40 million a year price tag that came along with it. Now, at the end of the day, we did not end up with Justin Verlander. No. The Mets got him. So GG once again, New York. You guys won this battle. But the fact that we were even in that conversation to begin with says a lot about what this management is willing to do and what they are willing to spend their money on.
Dude, it shows me that we could go get the next best pitcher, which is a Carlos Rodon, go get a Brandon Nimmo. Like, those feel very real. Every free agent from here on out is very realistic. Maybe not like a Correa. You know, Correa doesn't seem very realistic, or maybe not Bogarts, but those guys, everyone else, definitely Blue Jays are going to be in on.
Yeah, and not Aaron Judge either.
Oh, I mean, right, Aaron Judge.
Exactly. No. But pretty much everybody other than that, like, I think if your price tag is like below the 200 million mark, then I don't see why we're not in the conversation anymore.
I agree.
Anyone below $200 million, it's like, okay, like I think that we're pretty 100%. Much there.
And we've seen multiple sources of Ross Atkins saying that money is not an issue.
Yeah.
Like, where is this narrative coming from? It's coming from people like us that have been like, oh, well, we've never seen us spend more money than what we have currently. Like, so that's the narrative. Blue Jays have never come out and said we're not going to spend money. They've only encouraged it. So I'm feeling encouraged. We have got got to look at some more players to spend money other than just Andrew Heaney. If we bring in Andrew Heaney, we got to go get more players.
I agree.
And there was rumors coming out today, and we had someone on our chat just shout it out, about Kodai Senga. More Kodai Senga news coming out that apparently we are some of the finalists for Kodai Senga. Angels, Red Sox, and Blue Jays are among the teams with interest in Kodai Senga. Now, that means we're not the only teams. There could be more teams, but who is available for top free agent starters? So, thoughts on that? I mean, Angels, Red Sox, Blue Jays, I feel like we're going to be a bit more aggressive in getting Kodai Senga to those two teams. What do you think?
I do agree, man. Like, I think that, like, out of those three squads, like, I like our chances the best.
Yeah.
I will say, like, an argument could definitely be made for the fact that maybe Kodai Senga doesn't like us the best because the LA Angels are on the West Coast.
Yep.
You know, so I think that you could absolutely paint that narrative, and that would make sense. And also, too, I mean, like, is he buddies with Shohei Ohtani?
Well, yeah.
I don't know. Like, maybe there's exactly.
I admire him.
You know, so it's like you could absolutely make that argument there. So maybe from just that standpoint, he would prefer to go there. But from we're a competitive ball club and we can offer the most money standpoint, I think you got to go checkmark to the Toronto Blue Jays.
I mean, and we are actually pretty attractive to international free agents as well because we are Canada. We are a bit different. We're not America. So, but you're right. In terms of the West Coast getting home quickly, that does make the most sense.
Yeah.
Anything else we want to talk about for Kodai Senga? I feel like it's just like kind of news by John Morrissey right now. Nothing else has really developed, and that's kind of all the like rumors and news surrounding the Toronto Blue Jays right now, folks. We'll take a moment right now, just welcome everybody into the chat. 132 people watching. Guys, if you haven't already, drop a like on the stream, hit that subscribe button. It's winter meetings, baby. There's tons of news and rumors popping off. Like, we could see a signing tonight.
Yeah.
I would not be shocked that after this, like, we go offline and then boom, a signing happens.
I wouldn't be shocked if we're online literally again later today, everybody. Shout out also to Rahul with the $5 donation saying, as a Jays fan, we should not be hyped about Heaney. I wanted a guy like Verlander to mentor Manoah, and he wouldn't fit the Jays' short-term deal. I totally understand, dude, and I think that, like, final thoughts here for those of you rewatching this, because we'll cut this off and we'll talk to you guys about the other news that's breaking right now, but final thoughts about Andrew Heaney here for me is that I like him, I want more than just him.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Just Andrew Heaney is not going to fix our depth issues because, like, look, if one person goes down, oh God, right? Let's say we bring on Heaney and nobody else. Kikuchi's our fifth starter.
Yeah.
Someone goes down. Well, now Mitch White comes up and he was not doing well at all. So I don't feel comfortable. Yeah, we definitely need two.
I agree. Everybody who is rewatching this right now, shout out and thank you guys. Please hit that like and subscribe button. That is the news and rumors for right now. I guarantee we're going to be live again very, very soon. So you definitely want to be here while we're live. Because you miss out on this whole next section where we are going to talk about everything else going on in baseball right now. So thank you so much for watching.
And as always, go Jays, go!